Historical Committee for Tuesday, January 20. I'm sorry, it's January 19th, 2021. So what we're going to do is I'm going to call roll by calling for a roll call on the motion to proceed. So I'm moving that pursuant to Governor Lee's executive order number 72 regarding electronic meetings, I'm making the motion that this committee meeting agenda constitutes essential governmental business of the Metropolitan Council and that meeting electronically is necessary to protect the health, safety, and welfare of Tennesseans in light of the COVID-19 outbreak. Vice Chair Withers.
Madam Chair, I would like to second that motion.
Thank you. So this is our roll call and our vote on the motion. Council Lady Allen.
Here and I.
Thank you. Benedict.
Here and I.
Thank you. Bradford.
Here and I.
Thank you. Cash.
Here and I.
Evans.
Here and I.
Gamble.
Aye.
Thank you. Hager.
Aye.
Paul.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. O'Connell. O'Connell. Right. Parker.
Aye.
Rutherford.
Aye.
Stiles. Stiles. Toombs.
Aye.
Van Reese.
Aye.
Welch.
I and here.
Welch.
I and here.
Great. And Withers.
Present and aye.
Thank you. Going back to O'Connell.
Present.
Great. Stiles.
Present and here.
All right. That's we're all here. Congratulations, y'all. Okay, so let's begin. I'm going to call off the item numbers that we have on consent. And if there's something to bump, please raise your hand and I'll come to you once I've read off the bill numbers. So on consent, we have item number 2, BL 2019-8, consent to withdraw. Item number 3, BL 593, on consent to defer one meeting. Item number 5, BL 2021-598 is on consent to approve. Item number 6, 2021-599 is on consent to approve. The sponsor is present. Do we have Councilman Swope? Sorry, Councilman Withers. Okay, if Swope joins us, we'll keep it on. Otherwise, it may be bumped. Item number 7, BL 2021-600, Cash. Councilman Cash, are you with us? I'm on that.
I am.
Spectacular. That will stay on. Bills on third reading. Number 8, BL 2020-517, consent to defer one meeting. Item number 9, BL 2020-522 on consent to be amended and approved. Item number 10, 2020-525 is on consent to be approved. Taking us to item number 12, BL 2020-565 on consent to be approved. Item number 13, BL 2020-566 on consent to be approved. Item 40, oh goodness, I'm off my numbers today. Item 14, BL 2020-567 on consent to be approved. Item 15 is on 2020-568. The council lady got her letter into me a little late. I'm looking at you, Council Lady Benedict. Item number 16 is BL 2020-569 on consent to be approved. Item 17, BL 2020-570 on consent to be approved. 18, which is 571 on consent to be approved. Item 19, 572 is on consent to be approved. If we've got Council Lady Johnson. We have Council Lady Johnson. All right, well, hold on. That might be bumped. another 574 is on consent to be approved. Item 21, 575 is on consent to be approved. Item number 22, 576 on consent to be approved. Item 22, 577, consent to be approved. Item 24, 579 on consent to be approved. Item 25, 580 on consent to be approved. Is there, I see a hand, Council Lady Allen. What item do you discuss or discuss?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Could we pull BL 2025-22? It's a small number item.
What number is that?
Hold on.
Number 9.
Number 9.
Thank you.
Thank you. That is bumped. Okay. Berkeley, you want to take your hand down? Thank you. Okay. Anybody else have anything on that consent agenda that needs to be bumped, or you have questions? So I'm going to get started. If somebody wants to tell Council Lady Johnson to pop in, that would be great. Otherwise, I'll sign on to that at that point, and we'll keep it moving. So here we go. Item number 2, BL 2019-8, Roberts and others, amends the Metro Code pertaining to the provision of sidewalks that is on our consent agenda to be withdrawn. Item number 3, BL 2021-593 by Lee, Hauser, and Taylor is on consent to defer 1 meeting. Item number 5, BL 2021-598, Taylor and others, relocates a public fire hydrant assembly to property located at 517 Dr. D.B. Todd Jr. Boulevard. That's on consent to be approved. Item number 6, BL 2021-599, Swope, Murphy, and Nash accepts a new sanitary sewer main and 1 sanitary sewer manhole for properties located at 5661 Valley View Road. Item number 7 is BL 2021-600 by Cash, Murphy, and others. It relocates a public fire hydrant assembly for 3 properties located at 1207 Sweetbriar Avenue on consent to be approved. Bringing us to bills on 3rd reading. Number 8 is BL 2020-517. Changes 44.44 acres from AR2A to SP zoning for properties located at 5866 Pettis Road and Pettis Road unnumbered, and then north of Sundown Drive to permit 136 detached single-family and attached single-family units. That's on consent to be deferred 1 more meeting, and the councilman has promised me that they're going to work this out so I can stop reading that caption. Moving to item number 10, which is BL 2025-205, Council Lady Porterfield changes 7.27 acres from R20 to IWD zoning for properties located at Ned Stelson Road unnumbered north of the Ned Stelson Road and Bell Road. Yes, that's the terminal of those 2. That's on consent to be approved. Taking us to item number 12 on your agenda, BL 2020-565 by Council Lady Toombs. Changes 12.14 acres from RS 7.5 to an R6 to SP zoning for properties located at 819 West Trinity Lane unnumbered, and Brownlow Street unnumbered, northwest of West Trinity Lane and Brownlow Street to permit 312 multifamily residential units. That's on consent to be approved. Taking us to item number 13, BL 2020-566 by Councilman Roden. Changes 3.64 acres from RS15 to SP zoning for properties located at 3941 and 3957 Dotson Chapel Road to permit a multifamily development. That's on consent to be approved. Taking us to item 14, BL 2020-567 by Council Lady Welch. Changes 0.33 acres from RS 7.5 to SP zoning for properties located at 200 Raymond Street to permit 7 multifamily units. Again, that's on consent to be approved. Item number 15 is BL 2020-568 by Council Lady Benedict, and it changes 0.32 acres from R6 to RM15A zoning for property located at 1119 Chester Avenue. That's on consent to be approved. Taking us to item number 16 by Councilman O'Connell, BL 2020-569, changes 0.95 acres from IR to SP zoning for properties located at 1414 3rd Avenue North to permit a mixed-use development. Again, on consent to be approved. Taking us to item 17, BL 2020-570 by Parker, changes 0.16 acres from RS5 to R6A zoning for property located at 223 Lucille Street on consent to be approved. Item 19 is by Council Lady Toombs, and it is BL 2020-571. It changes 7.83 acres from IWD to MUGNS zoning for property located at 44 Vantage Way on consent to be approved. Item 19 was bumped, so bringing us to item 20, BL 2020-574 by Council Lady Benedict, changing 3 acres from RS10 to R10 zoning for property located at 1310 Cardinal Avenue. That is on consent to be approved. Taking us to our final page, which is item number 20, BL 2020-575 by Councilman O'Connell, applying 0.28 acres of a historic landmark overlay district to properties located at 161 Rosa L. Parks Boulevard. Item 22 on your agenda is BL 2020-576 by Councilman Parker, changing 16.72 acres from IR to SP zoning for properties located at 111 North 1st Street to permit a mixed-use development. That's on consent to be approved. Item 23 is BL 2020-577 by Council Lady Toombs, on consent to be approved. It is changing 0.19 acres from R8 to IWD zoning for property located at 437 Haney Avenue. Item number 24 is BL 2020-579 by Council Lady Stiles, and it is changing 2.96 acres from SP to MUL zoning for a portion of property located at 5400 Mount View Road on consent to be approved. Final agenda item on our consent agenda is BL 2020-580 by Councilman Young. Changes 0.72 acres from CS to RM20A zoning for properties located at 1176 and 1180 Dickerson Pike. That is consent to be approved. Council Lady Johnson has arrived. Did I read your bill?
No, you said it was bumped, but if I could get it put back on consent, that would be great.
I'm reading it now. Item number 19, BL 2020-572, cancels 1.63 acres of a planned unit development overlay district for property located at 451 Elysian Field Road. That takes us to the end of our consent agenda. Is there anything that needs to be bumped from that? Council Lady Johnson, you can pull your hand unless you needed something else. All right, seeing none, hearing none, I'm going to make the motion on the actions read into the consent agenda. Councilman Withers.
Madam Chair, I'd like to second that motion.
Thank you. That is lovely. And we're going to do this the John Cooper way. Those voting in the affirmative on our consent agenda as follows: Allen, Benedict, Bradford, Cash, Evans, Gamble, Hager, Hall, Murphy, O'Connell, Parker, Rutherford, Toombs, Van Rees, Welch, and Withers. Any member wishing to change their vote?
Do we get to say aye?
Oh, no, that was everybody. So you're good. Keep your hands, and hearing no objections, our consent agenda is passed. Thank you very much. So that takes us to item number 4, BL 2021-597. Parker and a group of friends approving a participation agreement between Metro Public Works and Monroe Infrastructure LLC for the construction of public infrastructure in Phase 1 of River North. I will make the motion on the bill. Councilman Withers.
Second.
Thank you. Councilman Parker, would you like to discuss or would you like to address your amendment?
Sure. So this amendment makes a couple of changes to this participation agreement. One is that it adds a section. It reads that the participation of the metro government in this participation agreement as attached here to and incorporated herein is subject to the availability of funds as determined by the Department of Finance. So essentially, this is a kind of nuclear option. We don't anticipate ever, resorting to this section. Would be for a situation where Metro's ability was severely limited by some unforeseen circumstance, and we have to prioritize, life safety, education, those kind of things. It's not a situation we ever anticipate being in, but just for flexibility, I think that both the administration and myself wanted this in the agreement. Additionally, there's some language added and language changes regarding a proposed central business improvement district for the phase 1 area. There's, as I understand it, and I'll probably ask someone from the administration, if possible, to speak to this a little more. As I understand it, a central business improvement district can be established by petition of property owners or by resolution of council. And currently this property is largely held by a single party, and that. But the petition method requires consent of a majority of the property owners. It uses kind of a wonky calculation to do so. And this is sort of the council asserting that we intend to establish this. We intend for the property owners to establish this, but if we did not want to encumber the process for moving forward with this with tying it to the establishment of the CBID. So this allows us a little bit of flexibility in getting that CBID established down the road, and not necessarily as part of this process and as a condition of this participation agreement moving forward. The other language changes of the amendment, we struck some language that would have been limiting to the scope and nature of the CBID. I believe that's everything that this amendment does. So would it be appropriate for me to move my amendment, or does someone else need to do that, Chair?
Yes, you are on the committee, and so if you would like to move your amendment, I will second it.
I would like to move the amendment.
I will second your amendment. Is there any discussion or questions on the amendment? Okay, I am seeing no hands and hearing no voices. So we'll just do a quick voting in the affirmative.
Madam Chair, without discussion, people can go back. Do you mind if we just took the two amendments at once? It sounds like they're supported both by the administration and the sponsor.
I'm sorry, is there, Councilman Parker, do you just have one amendment or you have two amendments?
I might have misheard. I couldn't tell if it was one or two. I'm sorry.
How many amendments do you have?
As this is in the packet, I believe that the amended version is attached below the amendment. I believe it's only one amendment.
Oh, then forget I said anything. Sorry, Madam Chair.
If Director Cooper or Mike Jameson could confirm that for us.
This is Hannah Zeitlin. There is just one amendment.
Okay, perfect.
It does about three things as part of the one amendment, but it's just one singular amendment.
Okay. Councilman O'Connell, you're right with us proceeding forward. All right, so I'm going to run through voting in the affirmative, and then if anyone chooses to vote opposite, please let me know when I am finished with our names, or raise your hand at this time. So voting in the affirmative on the amendment: Allen, Benedict, Bradford, Cash, Evans, Gamble, Hager, Hall, Murphy, O'Connell, Parker, Rutherford, Stiles, Toombs, Van Reese, Welch, and Withers. See no hand. I have a hand. Councilman Bradford, would you like to vote against the amendment?
No, come back to me after you're done counting the votes.
The votes are everybody voted the affirmative unless you're choosing to vote in the opposite at this time.
No, I'm just requesting that since we have Mr. Cooper on the call with us, that he do his handiwork and read through the rolls if we want to go faster.
Councilman Bradford, would you like to vote against the amendment?
No.
With that, your amendment is on the bill. We are on the bill as amended. I will move the bill as amended. Councilman Withers.
Second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion or questions on the bill as amended? All right, seeing no hands, hearing no objections. Unless you choose to vote in the affirmative, in the negative here, I'm reading our names as voting in the affirmative. Allen, Benedict, Bradford, Cash, Evans, Gamble, Hager, Hall, Murphy, O'Connell, Parker, Rutherford, Stiles, Toombs, Van Rees, Welch, and Withers. Anyone choosing to change their vote at this time? All right, Councilman Parker, your bill as amended is passed out with flying colors. Congratulations. All right, that takes us to item number 9 on the agenda, BL 2020-522, Council Lady Stiles. Changes 9.4 acres from AR2A to RM20 and S zoning for properties located at 5118 Mountain View Road and Mountain View Road unnumbered west of Highlander Drive. I will make a motion. Councilman Withers.
Second.
Thank you. Council Lady, let's see. Council Lady Stiles, do you want to move on our amendment, or the amendment you have before us before we go to Council Lady Allen's questions?
Yes, Chair.
Okay, so that is a motion on the amendment. I will second that. Council Lady Allen, do you want to question on the amendment until we're on the bill as amended? So, voting in the affirmative on the amendment. Same thing that we just did, y'all. Let's hopefully continue. Voting in the affirmative, Allen, Benedict, Bradford, Cash, Evans, Gamble, Hager, Hall, Murphy, O'Connell, Parker, Rutherford, Stiles, Toombs, Van Rees, Welch, and Withers. We are now on the bill as amended. Council Lady Allen, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to ask the question. My understanding from the planning staff report is that this will add 29 more students to the 3 schools out there. And do we know if there is capacity for those, or if not, is there a plan for adding capacity?
So do you want the administration to answer, or who would you like to answer that, Council Lady?
Or the district council member, either one.
We'll go to Council Lady Stiles to begin. Council.
Thank you, Chair. So yes, a school study was done, the developer that we do have a new school that is.
Point of order, I can't hear the council member. Can anybody else hear?
No.
Council Lady Stiles, you're very, very quiet. If you could, and I'm sure this is the first time you've been accused of that. So I don't know if there we go. Got a little louder on that laugh. Let's try again.
Okay, so thank you, Councilmember Allen. A study was done. We have 2 schools that are coming to the district next couple of years, which will be on track with the building of this project that will be able to handle those additional students.
Great. That's the way it's supposed to work. Okay, thank you.
So for those of you who may have had trouble hearing that, Council Lady Stiles assured us that there are schools coming down the pipeline, and it satisfied Council Lady Allen's questions at this time on that. Is there anything else, Council Lady Allen, or anyone else on the on this BL 2025-22 as amended?
I'm good. Thank you.
All right, hearing none and seeing none, we're going to vote on this bill as amended. Raise your hand if you would like to vote in the negative, so I will count you that way. But right now, here's who I've got in the positive. Voting for the bill as amended, Allen, Benedict, Bradford, Cash, Evans, Gamble, Hager, Hall, Murphy, O'Connell, Parker, Rutherford, Stiles, Toombs, Van Rees, Welch, and Withers. Any member wishing to change their vote? Seeing none and hearing none, Council Lady, your bill as amended is passed out. That takes us to item number 11 on your agenda, BL 2020-529 by Councilman Pulley. It changes 0.13 acres from SCR to SP zoning for the portion of property located at 4004 Hillsborough Pike, to permit an animal boarding facility, dog kennel, and all uses permitted in the SCR zoning. Councilman Pulley, have you joined and graced your presence into the planning committee? Are you here?
I am here. I don't know how graceful it is. I am here.
That is a very true statement, potentially. I will, out of the goodness of my heart, since you've sat next to me for so long, make a motion on your bill and call on Councilman Withers to make a second.
Second.
Thank you. Councilman Pulley, would you like to start with your amendment or start with the bill?
Why don't I start with an explanation of the bill, and I'll try to be brief, and then I'll move the amendment at the appropriate time. I just want to let everybody know, if you don't mind, I'll just walk through this succinctly. This is an application that was submitted by the landowner to rezone from SCR to SP, which includes the very specific use of animal boarding facility, dog kennel, et cetera. The purpose of this is they have a parcel on the shopping center they want to lease to Dogtopia. So that's the purpose for the rezone. When they first hit me up about this, I told them they're going to have to really go through community process. So we got a community Zoom meeting and notified all the neighbors that this was the intent of the property owner to rezone for this purpose. So there were a number of concerns that community members brought to the table. I can tell you the lion's share of these, well, all of the concerns are noise, location, increased traffic, property value concerns, safety issues, unhealthy environment for dogs. So I felt like it was basically my responsibility to vet these concerns. So I went about the process of doing that. I went to, first of all, when you look at Dogtopia, they've got some pretty serious noise mitigation features that are a part of every one of their facilities according to their franchise plans. I went to the 8th Avenue Dogtopia to visit to see just how that worked. I went inside and I was pretty impressed with what I heard and saw and observed. There was another concern expressed by the neighbors about outdoor noise during the drop-off period. So I spent a couple of days over there during the peak time when the dogs are being dropped off, because this is primarily used as what would be a doggy daycare for people who are going to work to drop off their dogs, to have a place for them to be rather than being cooped up at home. So I observed the drop-off process for a couple of hours in the morning and did not hear any dog barking while I was there. Also, I talked to the Dogtopia owner and a couple of others there. There were some concerns along the same lines when this dog facility was being looked at for that location. It's been in place since October of 2019. And I went next door, which is probably, well, it's an adjacent facility and it's an adult care place where they have drop-offs and pickups during the same peak hours. And I spoke with the CEO there, and he said he's never heard any noise, never heard any dogs barking. And during my personal observation of the drop-offs, I did not hear any dogs bark and make any noise during the pickup and drop-off period. I also didn't hear from any neighbors who are around that area who were concerned about any issues of noise since the place has gone operative out there. In terms of traffic, that was a concern that was put forth by the Warfield neighbors. And if you look at the uses under SCR, both the Planning Commission and the planning staff both see this as negligible in terms of traffic, because whatever goes in there is going to create some level of traffic. So to that end, I looked at what the average number of dogs were going to be dropped off there, and it looks like the number is somewhere between 40 and 50 on an average day. So some of those, about 10, 15%. And I did notice that a number of cars, when I was sitting out in front of the Dogtopia on 8th, did have multiple dog families, so that would probably mitigate it to some extent. Property value was also brought up as a concern by the neighbors. So I independently spoke with two separate highly regarded residential real estate professionals and walked them through this process, and both independent from the other expressed really no concerns about a property value loss here. They both, independent from one another, saw this as an enhanced feature of being able to have this in a neighborhood where someone could walk to have their dog cared for in this fashion. From a safety perspective, there were concerns about whether or not this was good for dogs. So I reached out to Hillsborough Animal Hospital, to the senior veterinarian there, and ran this through him. He's been there as long as I've been living here at Hillsborough Animal Hospital, and he's not concerned at all about facilities like this. He described them as being overall good for dogs because he doesn't see anything abnormal in terms of incidents of people bringing dogs because of issues that occur there. He knows the Dogtopia brand and is particularly impressed with what he calls their temperament tested method that they use when dogs come into the facility. Their temperament is tested and they're isolated from less aggressive dogs. So overall, he felt like this was much better for dogs than leaving them crated at home during the workday. So that's what I did with respect to the health of the dogs. So I don't know that I have any more to add right now, and I'm happy to answer questions, but I do have an amendment, and the purpose of this amendment is that, although I'm satisfied with the noise mitigation features that Dogtopia requires of their franchisees, the SP doesn't specify the Dogtopia brand. So this amendment basically makes any other animal care, kennel, boarding facility which might happen to be considered for use of this property adherent to the same standards, and it would specifically only apply to animal board care facilities. So that's the purpose of the amendment. So at your pleasure, Madam Chair, I would ask that the committee move and support the amendment.
Councilman, I will move your amendment. Councilman Withers?
I'd like to second. Thank you.
Thank you. And I just want to, I'm going to have some questions about the amendment. I want to correct on your agenda. It says that the Planning Commission approved this 7-0. That is incorrect. Myself and former Council Lady Nina Johnson did vote against this rezoning. So I know that a lot of you respect Mina and her dogs. And so just wanted to add that in, not as a personal slight to Councilman Pulley, who has clearly done, I can't even bring the dog joke there, but has done a lot of work on this here. So he has barked up a lot of trees maybe on this one to get us the information.
I am aware that there were 2 negative votes. I certainly didn't hold this out as a unanimous vote before the Planning Commission. So I am aware of that. Thank you for bringing it up.
Yes, as I am the Humane Society's Legislator of the Year a few years ago. But putting that aside, Councilman, we will move on to Councilman Cash, who had his hand raised, and then before we vote, I'll come back to my questions on your amendment. So, Councilman Cash, you had your hand raised, or was it also to verify the trees that Councilman Pulley bird dogged for us?
I guess it's more about the bill itself than the amendment, but if you're happy for me to ask a question, I'm ready to ask it.
Yeah, let's wrap up the amendment that on, and then we can go to the bill as amended. So, Councilman Pulley, here are my questions on your amendment. Is section, it looks like 5A, or section 4, which would be 5, and then A. It discusses interior walls for areas where dogs may be present, so on and so forth. And then under B, it says where dogs are not present for extended areas. Wouldn't that be the same thing, that a dog may be present and a dog may not be present for extended periods? And so to me, that sounds like those are conflicting requirements for areas that dogs will both may be in and may not be present for extended periods of time.
Could be. I can just tell you, I took this language directly from Dogtopia's noise control plan, so I didn't bet that particular issue. But I do have, I believe, Patricia Beeman is on the call, and you might be able to address that question specifically to her if you'd like.
And Patricia Beeman is?
She's the franchisee.
Okay. My more concern is the interpretation of that for codes. I think that that's a gray area that I'd rather see cleaned up with the input of the codes department and Director Herbert, because it does seem like a conflicting information. And I'm also wondering what is going to be the enforcement for section D of your amendment regarding the noise coming out of this. Is that going to be up to codes?
I would think so.
Okay. I'm not going to put Councilman Cash on the spot for that as the codes chair, but I would feel more comfortable hearing from codes about this amendment, since we do not typically have amendments that get into the specific of building structure in this way for this type of an existing building that is being outfitted for a new tenant. So I have concerns about the amendment, but I will go to, I don't know if you want to put that on, or if you're willing to defer this to hear from the Director Herbert, or if Councilman Cash as co-chair has any thoughts in that area.
I don't know. Well, Councilman Pulley, do you want to go first?
No, go ahead. I'm happy to hear from you.
I don't know that I have any. I haven't asked Director Herbert about this, so I don't know that I am comfortable giving an answer as it relates to codes enforcement on this matter. I'm happy to get in touch with him and ask this question and report back.
We don't have to add the amendment. If you feel uncomfortable with the amendment, we can. I'm happy to just withdraw it and we can move forward without it.
I think the amendment may be giving more protection to your neighborhood. I think that the amendment, though, is not clear enough and specific enough for our codes department to be able to enforce it, or when they inspect it for its use and occupancy, to have to define and read between lines of where a dog may be present and where a dog are not present for extended periods of time. That seems like conflicting language to me that could end up at having the BZA have to interpret those two, or causing more work for our codes department when we could clean this up on the front. Would you be willing to defer the amendment in the bill to hear from codes?
Sure.
All right.
You want to just go ahead and move to defer one meeting?
I will move to leave this here and defer it one meeting. Councilman Cash, do you have something else you want to add before I continue, or would you like to second my motion?
I will second your motion and well, so this is the amendment and the bill that's being deferred?
Yes, sir.
I will second it, but I still have a question about it, about separate from what we just talked about.
Okay, so I will table my motion for the time, so you can ask on, even though we're on the amendment, go ahead and ask your question in case there's something else that needs to be addressed in the amendment process before it comes back to us.
Okay, thanks. So when this bill was up late last year, I mean, I did have some concerns. We heard from a lot of people that lived close to it that were concerned, and you know, I questioned at the time whether they were getting overly worked up about some things, and I appreciate the councilman's research and, you know, thorough. I think I was in a lot of ways convinced, or my concerns were alleviated by what he reported that he witnessed. And I guess my question is, I'd like to know what Councilman Pulley, how he communicated his findings to the neighbors, and if he's like calmed them down or reassured some of them, and what we can expect their reaction to be to his findings and this amendment, if that makes sense. Yeah.
I think that's an appropriate question. Councilman Pulley, you have the floor.
So I haven't communicated to every one of these neighbors yet, but my intent is to, after we go through this committee process, to let them know what it is the outcome of this is going to be. There are some of them that, in my communications with them, they're not going to be happy unless this passes, I think, or unless this does not pass. I think that's pretty clear. So I'm happy. We're going to defer this bill for at least one meeting. So I'm happy to go and report back to all of them what we are considering doing and let you know what they have to say.
Councilman Cash, any follow-up?
I appreciate that, and I understand that we're not, with things like this, we're not going to please all the people all the time, but I just think I want to know what to expect in terms of, you know, getting emails and questions about it. So I appreciate the councilman taking this time to do that.
Sure.
Thank you. So, Councilman, I appreciate you considering my deferral motion a friendly motion. I think that's an accurate way to describe your reaction to it, and speak otherwise, I guess. And so we can do this by roll call, or if I can call the roll like we have before. Is there anyone who wants? If there's anybody who wants to vote no on the deferral, if you'll raise your hand, and I'll do a roll call vote. Councilman Cash, your hand is still up. Okay, so does anybody, if anybody objects to me, I guess raise your hand if you would like me to do a full roll call on this, and I'm happy to do that. Okay, seeing none and hearing none, I'm going to vote us all in the affirmative, and let me know if something changes somewhere beyond the way. But this is voting in the affirmative to defer the bill and its accompanying amendment, both to defer one meeting. So that's going to be Allen, Benedict, Bradford, Cash, Evans, Gamble, Hager, Hall, Murphy, O'Connell, Parker, Rutherford, Stiles, Toombs, Van Rees, Welch, and Withers. Thank you, Councilman, for understanding my concerns for the dogs and letting us, handing me that bone so we can pass this and discuss it at our next meeting.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm just glad you didn't give me the stink eye with all this. So thank you.
Night's still young, honey. Night's still young. All right. Looking over it, I think that takes us to the end of our agenda. Does anyone see something that I have missed that we need to go back to? Okay. With that, I will say one last time, I have taken your planning questions and comments and topics for our workshop. I am consolidating those, outlining those, lining up speakers and whatnot. So this really is your last chance. If you have a question or topic you want us to put in there, I'm not going to offer this again. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm sure this will carry on for the next 4 years. With that, I think that we are adjourned unless there's something else. Hearing none, I consider the planning committee adjourned to call the chair. Thank you.